Are you looking for something new to read? I've got some Christian fiction books to share with you that are releasing in September 2023. Hi, my name's Lou. Welcome to my channel, Christian Faith and Fiction. Now, these books have all been listed as Christian fiction online. Obviously, I haven't read them yet, and so I can't tell you where they fall on the spectrum, how much Christian content they've got in them, whether they might have something that I might find problematic in them. These are just suggestions I'm putting out to you for you to go and take away and have a look for yourself. As always, I have listed them by genre. So first of all, we've got Mystery and Suspense. Facing the Enemy by DiAnn Mills releases on the 5th of September and is published by Tyndale House. For the past 5 years, FBI Special Agent Risa Jacobs has worked in the Violent Crimes Against Children Division of the Houston FBI. She's never had reason to believe there's a target on her back, until now. When the long-awaited reunion between Risa and her brother Trenton ends in tragedy, Risa is riddled with guilt, unable to cope with the responsibility she feels over his death. On leave from the FBI, Risa returns to her former career as an English teacher at a local college, only to see her past and present collide when one of her students, Carlson Mercury, turns in an assignment that reads like an eyewitness account of her brother's murder, with details never revealed publicly. In historical fiction, The Wings of Poppy Pendleton by Melanie Dobson releases on the 19th of September and is published by Tyndale House. 1907. On the eve of her 5th birthday, Poppy Pendleton is tucked safely in her bed, listening to her parents entertain New York's gilded society in their Thousand Islands castle. The next morning she is gone, and her father is found dead in his smoking room. 1992. Though Chloe Riddell lives in the shadows of Poppy's castle, now in ruins, she has little interest in the mystery that still captivates tourists and locals alike. She is focused on preserving the island she inherited from her grandparents and reviving their vintage candy shop, until the day a girl named Emma shows up on Chloe's doorstep with few possessions save a tattered scrapbook that connects her to the Pendleton family. The Legacy of Longdale Manor by Carrie Turansky releases on the 26th of September and is published by Bethany House. In 2012, art historian Gwen Monroe travels to England's Lake District to appraise the paintings and antiques of an old family friend, hoping to prove herself to her prestigious grandfather. While at Longdale Manor, she becomes acquainted with David Bradley, the owner's handsome grandson, who is desperate to save the crumbling estate by turning it into a bed and breakfast. When Gwen stumbles upon a 100-year-old journal and an intricately carved shepherd's staff similar to the one in a photo of her parents, she uncovers a connection to the father she never knew. In 1912, after her father's death, Charlotte Harper uncovers a painful family secret she can only confess to her journal. She and her family travel to the Lake District to stay on a sheep farm, hoping eventually to find a home with Charlotte's grandfather at Longdale Manor, but old wounds and bitter regrets make it a difficult challenge. The Secrets Beneath by Kimberley Woodhouse releases on the 26th of September and is published by Bethany House. Anna Lakeman has spent her life working alongside her paleontologist father, drawing intricate sketches at every dig. When they find dinosaur bones near their home in Wyoming Territory, they're swiftly caught up in the era known as the Bone Wars. But when her father becomes sick and an old beau, Joshua Ziegler, returns for the summer, Anna's world is upended and the practical, orderly life she has made for herself shatters. In contemporary romance, A Louisiana Christmas to Remember by Morgan Tarpley Smith, Betsy St. Amant and Lenora Worth releases on the 1st of September and is published by Barber Publishing. This one may be over some different time periods. A Rare Snowfall Leads to a Christmas to Remember. 3 heartwarming, interconnected stories of faith, love and restoration. In a Louisiana Snow by Morgan Tarpley Smith, meet a passionate visionary who learns to forgive and finds love in unexpected places. In Restoring Christmas by Betsy St. Amant, meet an artist and prodigal daughter who discovers love exists in the very place she once called home. In A Christmas Reunion by Lenora Worth, meet a beautiful widow who finally dares to love again. A Royal Christmas by Melanie Carlson releases on the 5th of September and is published by Revell. Adelaide Smith is too busy for fairy tales. She's been working hard to put herself through law school, and now the end is in sight. She's determined to stay focused on her goals. Then she receives a letter notifying her that she has been found through a DNA registry to be a direct descendant of King Maximilian V, the ruler of a small Eastern European principality called Montovia. She's understandably sceptical. This is the stuff of cheesy made-for-TV movies, not real life. Although the pieces of this surprising family puzzle seem too good to be true, curiosity gets the best of her. At the King's invitation, Adelaide embarks on a Christmas break trip that is chock full of surprises, including a charming village, an opulent palace, family mysteries, royal jealousies, a handsome young member of Parliament, and the chance at a real fairy tale romance with a happily ever after ending. All's Fair in Love and Christmas by Sarah Monzon releases on the 5th of September and is published by Bethany House. Every December, two things are guaranteed for graphic designer Mackenzie Graham: Christmas celebrations and the annual promotion at her workplace. These two things are by no means mutually exclusive. In fact, the better an employee is at harnessing the Christmas spirit, the more likely they'll win the new job. With her social anxiety, Mackenzie never thought she'd be a contender in her company's holiday competition, so how exactly has she found herself dueling her workplace crush with wrapping paper tubes and using tinsel as her weapon of choice for a much-needed raise? You Make It Feel Like Christmas by Toni Shiloh releases on the 5th of September and is published by Bethany House. Star Lewis reluctantly returns home for the holiday, jobless, single, and not at all prepared to be dragged into her sister's wedding activities, or to witness her sister's marriage to Star's ex-boyfriend on Christmas Eve. But when her brother's charming best friend, Waylon Emerson, attends their family Thanksgiving, Star begins to believe that maybe coming home isn't so bad. Wildflower Falls by Denise Hunter releases on the 12th of September and is published by Thomas Nelson. This is book 4 in the Riverbend series. He's here to train her horses and then skip town. She's keeping her true identity a secret, but their spark complicates both of their plans. When Charlotte Honeycutt, owner of Stillwater Ranch, discovered her deceased mother's safety deposit box, she was not expecting life-changing news inside: the long-hidden identity of her biological father and the location of her two half-brothers, Gavin and Cooper Robinson. While her father's location is unknown, her brothers have grown up in Riverbend Gap just as she did. Horse trainer Gunnar Dawson is averse to the idea of settling down or having lasting connections of any kind. This time in Stillwater Ranch is only meant to be temporary, but the young woman he finds there isn't at all who he expected. We Three Kings by Crystal Caudill, Cara Putman and Angela Ruth Strong is a collection of 3 stories set in 3 different time periods, and it releases on the 19th of September and is published by Caudill. Star of Wonder by Crystal Caudill. The Christmas-themed maiden voyage of his family's grand steamer ship was supposed to be Aldrich Weiss's chance both to instill investor confidence and to romance Celestia Isaacs. Instead, he must foil a criminal and leave his lady love behind forever. Beauty Bright by Cara Putman. Lieutenant Charles Weiss served as a monuments man after World War II and now works to restore stolen art to rightful owners. Captain Lillian Thorson pairs up with him not only to return treasures but also to fix the war-torn lives around them. Perfect Light by Angela Ruth Strong. Essential oils mogul Brendan Weiss is drawn to Lacey Foster, the event planner for his huge Christmas Lights Festival, but when he inadvertently makes a spectacle of her on television, Lacey wants nothing to do with him. Will a chance to give gifts to those in need at Christmas be the key to discovering common ground and maybe love? On Moonberry Lake by Holly Varni releases on the 26th of September and is published by Revell. Cora Matthews has long wondered why her mother stopped taking her to visit her grandparents' lodge in the small northwoods Minnesota town of Moonberry Lake. Now, after burying her mother and breaking off her engagement just 2 weeks before her wedding, Cora has a chance to find out. Once there, she is stunned to learn that the old lodge is her inheritance, with a surprising condition attached. Maybe some time to regroup on the shores of a beautiful lake is just what Cora needs to figure out what's next for her. But Cora's days on the lake are anything but relaxing. The only thing that's bigger mess than her own life is the dilapidated building she's living in. In fantasy and sci-fi, Beneath the Swirling Sky by Carolyn Leiloglou releases on the 12th of September and is published by Waterbrook. This is not listed as Christian, but I think Waterbrook just publishes Christian books. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I think. After an experience he'd rather forget, Vincent is determined to be done with art. So when he and his little sister, Lily, spend spring break with their art conservator great-uncle, Vincent's plan is to stay glued to his phone. That is, until Lily disappears into one of the world's most famous paintings and Vincent learns his parents have been hiding something. Their family is the last of the Restorationists, a secret society with the power to travel through paintings and a duty to protect them from evil forces. The Eternity Gate by Katherine Briggs releases on the 12th of September and is published by Enclave Escape. This is book 1 in the Threshold duology. Destroy the key, save her people and herself. The Eternity Gate is found and kings and monsters battle over its legends of treasure, but rumours whisper that someone stole the gate's ancient key. Seyo, handmaiden to the princess, keeps 3 secrets. First, she's gifted in fire, not light, and may well be cursed. Second, she translates a prophecy warning that the gate does not offer treasure but judgment. Third, Jirai, the scorned prince and Seyo's confidant, entrusts her with the key and disappears. The Looking Glass Illusion by Sarah Eller releases on the 19th of September and is published by Enclave Escape. This is not listed as Christian, but the first book I read and it had a lot of Christian allegory in it. This is book 2, so I'll just read the one line from this. Step through the looking glass, slay the Jabberwock, seek the king. In contemporary fiction, The Light on Halsey Street by Vanessa Miller releases on the 5th of September and is published by Thomas Nelson. 2 girls' lives are irrevocably intertwined the summer of 1985 in the streets of Brooklyn, New York, and neither will ever be the same in this coming-of-age story that spans decades. In the summer of 1985, Lisa Whitaker is a church kid headed to college on a scholarship, while her best friend Dana is floundering in the wake of her mother's latest eviction. Though Lisa tries to help, their paths diverge. 15 years later, Lisa has a beautiful family and is stepping into her dream job as a director for a social services organization. Everything is going right until her future is snatched away by identity theft. Her life begins to unravel and Lisa wants nothing more than to see the woman responsible pay for her crimes. When she was a teenager, Dana Jones always felt alone in this world. Her mother was addicted to drugs, her boyfriend was entering a life of crime, and it seemed Dana too was heading down the wrong path. The only bright light was her friendship with Lisa. Now, in the new millennium, Dana finally gives herself permission to dream, to believe she is stepping into better days, but when the betrayal of their friendship comes to light, it will take a lifetime to forgive the destruction that youthful summer in Bed-Stuy set in motion. The Wind Blows in Sleeping Grass by Katie Powner releases on the 26th of September and is published by Bethany House. After years of drifting, 50-year-old Pete Ryman has settled down with his pot-bellied pig Pearl in the small town of Sleeping Grass, a place he never expected to see again. It's not the life he dreamed of, but there aren't many prospects for a high school dropout like him. Elderly widow Wilma Jacobson carries a burden of guilt over her part in events that led to Pete leaving Sleeping Grass decades ago. Now that he's back, she's praying for the chance to make things right. But she never expected God's answer to leave her flat on her face, literally, and up to her ears in meddling. When the younger sister Pete was separated from as a child shows up in Sleeping Grass with her 11-year-old son, Peter's forced to face a past he buried long ago. So those are all the books that I could find that are releasing in September. If you know of any more, please do let me know in the comments. And also let me know which of those books you would plan on reading at some point in the future. I hope you're having a really great reading week, and until next time, God bless. Bye.